Look, I know it might be easy with all this new flashy stuff getting added to the game, but what we really need is multiple save files.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today we've been talking about some information about NASCAR 84 released in an Operation Sports article. Before we get into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I do want to quickly apologize for not getting this out. When it came out, I had school, I was studying, I had homework already. I'm just a week in and it's already getting pretty insane, but don't have to worry about there not being anything on the channel. I'll still be posting stuff. That is why I was not able to get this out right away and why it's taken 2 days, because I actually not get home today until 5:30. I'm sure by the time it gets up it'll be 9 o'clock, so I'll probably just opt to wait until Friday. So I apologize for that, but I'm starting to get used to it, and I've already had a test in the first 4 days of school. I already had a test, and it was legitimately on like stuff we had went over. So that's how my year's been so far. Just a lot of stuff. But anyways, like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into the video. We are here on the article on Operation Sports. If you guys want to check it out, I will put the link down below in the description. Go ahead and check that out for y'all. We got this nice little picture here. The cover says NASCAR 84 hands-on preview, including over 7 minutes of exclusive gameplay footage. I will be making a separate video with the exclusive gameplay footage. That will come out tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is just kind of talking about what they're doing in this article. So we'll start here. Updated physics. What a difference a year can make in the way each car in the series now handles. Of course, it's easy to say that the car felt much better in the way it handled, but the reason behind that statement is what it has me excited. In prior versions of NASCAR Heat, it felt as if the car rotated and turned on a single point axis or a pole that was placed in the center of the vehicle. With NASCAR Heat 4, though, the game provides multiple points of emphasis when it comes to car physics, and the result is a car that reacts more realistically and has a much heavier overall feel. This is very detailed and much more detailed than the other article we read about a week ago. So I really like that. He tells what makes a difference in the feel, and I really like that, and that makes me even more excited, because that's one thing I've been talking about. These cars are a lot looser than they are in real life. You're not going to accidentally turn left in these cars or be turning left and then just go. I mean, it looks like, from what this says, assuming it's right, of course, this looks like it's going to be what I've been asking for, what I feel like will make it more realistic. Here's something more. The new improvements allow the driver to rub and race a bit easier in a realistic fashion when fighting for position. There also seemed to be a real connectivity between the controller and the action on the track, as I could feel the car and its reaction to the road and the other drivers around me. All this combined provides a much more enjoyable time on the track with NASCAR 84. So that is something that they went kind of vaguely in the other article. They just kind of said, yeah, they improved the physics, and that we haven't heard much from. This person went into a lot of detail. He seems to be somebody who knows what he's talking about. So shout out to you, Robert Collars. Shout out to you. Really good detail. Moving on to the multiple lives driven section. A common complaint with NASCAR 3 was that AI drivers would come across as complacent when racing each other and were casually satisfied with their current on-track position. They rarely showed urgency trying to move through the track and reacted the same whether it was lap 2 or 200, which is valid. I'm assuming this is just the gameplay. Yes, this is the gameplay. Well, again, we'll get into that. I'll kind of break that up in a separate video. Or if it's insanely, there's not a lot of stuff to talk about, I guess I can go ahead. Is this? Oh, this is just the same. Yeah, this is just the same as we've already gone over. So never mind about that. You did not hear about that. We've already watched this gameplay. Why is there a Chris Move video here? Anyways, moving on. In my time with NASCAR 84, I found them not only being aggressive with me, but with each other as well, and watching AI drivers ahead of me on the track. It was quite noticeable the effort they were making to trying to find more speed and overtake each other by utilizing multiple grooves and approaches. On top of that, the AI driver showed a stronger reluctance to give up their current position, which right now I'm like, yay, that's great, but then when I get into a race and I'm trying to pass an AI car and they're, you know, switching lanes on me and all of that, I probably won't like it too much, but that's obviously a great addition. I'm not trying to, that's a great addition, and I'm excited for the realisticness that will bring. Here we go, we have a new kind of menu for the game. I'm excited about that. Here we have challenges, start my career, online multiplayer, newsfeed, options, my driver, my cars I'll get to in a second, quick race, split screen, championship. It's basically the same thing as last year, except last year was obviously, you know, on the side. This is now kind of a more modern feel, a lot better looking. And then as for the my cars, my best guess, maybe it's your different paint schemes, stuff like that. I don't think it's anything important like your I don't know. We'll see how it goes. There's unlockable paint schemes, so maybe it has something to do with that. Like I said, we'll see when we get there. And this is graphics and lighting. One of the knocks that existed with the older Unity engine the NASCAR games had been the struggle to provide developers with both strong graphics and frames per second at the same time. Now that the Unity engine has been updated and improved, the ability to deliver better graphics, realistic physics, and natural lighting have become much easier for the developer, all while maintaining a steady frames per second. The overall improvements were noticeable the moment I put eyes on the screen and had a controller in my hand. The colors were deeper and more natural, and the game has a much more realistic look and feel. NASCAR 4's improvements in the graphics department, specifically the car, track, and crowd detail, had an immediate impact on my experience and helped me deliver a much improved feeling of immersion. So it looks like there is, I mean, a lot of people have been debating. I mean, you hear some people like, oh, the graphics have improved massively. And you have people saying they don't see it improving at all. In my opinion, I was kind of on the fence at first. The more gameplay I've seen, the more I'm on the side of, yes, the graphics have improved, and this seems to does not combat that, but seems to support that. So that's definitely a great thing. Career mode depth, amazingly, I was informed that 80% of the time spent with the NASCAR Heat series by gamers was spent in career mode. That is actually an interesting stat. I would say I probably am about 50-50, almost more multiplayer than career mode, just because I get pissed off at AI, so maybe that'll change this year, maybe not. Anyways, so it makes sense that 7-hour games would look to create a deeper and more challenging experience for this mode. Some of the improvements will include less hot seat time, deeper crew development and execution, and the ability to start your career in any one of the 3 series instead of having to work your way up to the Cup series. Obviously, I will be starting from the Truck series or Dirt series, whatever you guys want me to do, which I'll get into, you know, in a later video. Here is kind of the new menu here. We have current event, which would obviously be like, let's say we're racing at Daytona this week. That's you're preparing for Daytona. Work plan, I would assume that would just be you allocating all of the people's abilities. Like she has +5 engine, that would just be you doing that. Then this would just be a menu showing all your different employees, season standings. If you don't know what season standings means, I don't know what to tell you. Future plans, I don't know if that's maybe like a challenge place where you're like, my future plans, I plan to be a champion in the Dirt Series, or I plan to be a 5 wins in one season, maybe something like that, or I plan to be in the Cup Series at one time. It's probably, my take on it would be a sort of just a, you know, challenge for the team. About me, I couldn't tell you at all. We'll see what that's like. Maybe that's just a way to customize your player or something like that. Again, we'll just have to see when we get there. For team owners, the game will now force you to manage your money and your car on the weekend, as car damage will carry over and cost money to fix and improve. Running short on funds and your super speedway car is still damaged? Surprise! That is your car you're taking to the next super speedway visit. Regardless of the vehicle's current condition, the career mode is now realistically, English is hard. blends all aspects of being a car owner together and forces you to stop being so singularly focused. Instead, you now have to see your career collection of many parts as a collection of many parts. So this is huge. I'm not sure what route I'm going yet. I know, and I'm going to have 2 careers that are personal: one owner, one driver. I might just start out on the owner, and then if I get bored with the owner, I'll switch to the driver one. And then obviously this one, I'm just basically letting you guys decide what I do. You guys are going to be making the decisions for the YouTube. But the other 2, I am going to ones that I'm doing on my own at my own pace are going to be one. But anyways, here's just a list of improvements in NASCAR 84. Legend drivers, upgraded UI, unlockable paint scheme, start in any series, staff specialist, and hired pit crew, which is definitely something that we haven't talked about. Also, I do want to kind of touch on the repair. I forgot to touch on that. That is definitely huge because it's hard enough to run a cup team, let alone have to buy a new car. So you are definitely going to be in the back of your head thinking, oh, I don't want to wreck it. I mean, you're not going to be pushing the car to the exact limit in fear of damaging it. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe this means that you can't repair your car in race. Maybe that's something that's been taken away as well, or you can't repair it to the extent that you could. You know, something like that. That would definitely be interesting. Maybe DNFs are a thing now. That's something else that I got to think about. And also pit accuracy. Does that mean you can now get pit road penalties and, you know, less lug nuts or loose wheels, something like that? Maybe that's what the pit accuracy thing is, and you can just get a penalty for seemingly nothing, or it wouldn't be seemingly nothing, but you know what I mean. Maybe that's a thing now. Pit penalties. That would definitely be realistic. Anyways, clean driving bonus, which is, I think it's something that was there, but obviously it's now improved with the kind of incentive. Draft partners, track map, Tony Stewart dirt car, in-car camera view, left and right view. Not sure what that really means, and many more. Thanks for the and many more. And final thoughts. Jeez, old Pete. I need to be careful not to overestimate the improvements seen from year to year in any given title, but I have no issue saying that the changes to the core gameplay are substantial and will be felt throughout all modes of play. The testing I did was on a PS4, and from graphic fidelity to smart and aggressive AI, the improvements were tangible and on point. Look for a new preview of NASCAR 84 about 2 weeks before launch. So obviously I'll make a video on that. That's going to be all for today. Make sure to let me know your guys' thoughts on this new information. What was your biggest takeaway from this article? Me personally, it's the physics. It sounds like we're going to actually drive like an actual car. So that's definitely going to be something that is going to be exciting for me. But be sure to let me know what are you guys most excited for in NASCAR 84 of the stuff released now. What do you think? Is there something they kind of have up their sleeve that they haven't talked about quite yet? Anything like that? Just comment everything down below. Make sure you like and hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.